Welcome back. Glad that you're here. We are building a movie app with the best coding practices and tools. In the last video, we worked on movie details screen top part where we had poster, below that we had title and description and overview of the movie. In this video, we will work on the cast list and videos related to the movie. Let's start coding. Whenever we have a new widget to create, we should first think of the data that it will display. As in case of cast list, we will show cast and crew who worked on that movie. As you already know from our previous videos, domain layer consists of entities, abstract repository, and use cases. Let's start with the entity. From data source, we will get the cast and crew list by hitting an API by passing movie ID in the request. But we need only cast in our UI. So we will create only cast entity, and this entity must not have all the fields. Entity should only have the fields that are required to show in UI or that are part of some further API calls. For request, we have created movie params already in the previous videos. So we need to only create now response entity. In the domain/entities folder, create a new file cast_entity.dart. In the TMDB API, each cast and crew has a credit ID. Declare the name of the cast. Cast will have profile image which we will show. We will also have character that the cast has played in that movie. Declare all the fields as required and add props method as well. Now come to the repository. When we are ready with the request and response entity, we can create an abstract method in the abstract repository. In the domain/repository folder, add a new method, getCastCrew. Here, we create a method that takes in an ID and returns us with either the app error or success object of list cast entity. Now let's do the use case that invokes this method. If you have seen previous videos, we are using use cases only in the blocks. Create a new use case in domain/usecases folder. Since we have already created some use cases before, so copy any one of them and change the name to getCast. Important thing here is that you define the response type and request type as list cast entity and movie params respectively. The call method works on these types, so change them as well with the correct type. Here you will make the call to getCastCrew instead of getMovieDetail. Now we are done with the domain layer that's easy and fast. Let's make the API call now via data layer. If you open the data folder, you will see errors in the repository folder. That's because we haven't implemented the method that we declared in the abstract repository class. Before resolving the error, let's first create the model class. A model class is the response model that holds the parsed JSON from the API. If you remember, we used JSON2Dart tool for creating the model class from JSON. Head on to TMDB developers doc and under the movies, select get credits. On the right side, you can see the details. Put the API key and any movie ID. Now hit the send request button and copy the response. Paste this response in the JSON2Dart tool. Copy the generated code in a new file which is cast_crew_result_data_model.dart. The file is too long, so please take it from the repository. We have to make some modifications because sometimes based on JSON, the JSON2Dart tool is unable to create proper subclasses, making all the fields as final and make from JSON method as factory method now. You can refer the data sources video for the similar steps. While you are doing these code changes, you will also extend the model with entity and use the super constructor to fill in values in the entity instance. Repository implementation. Now you can add the implementation of repository method in the movie repository impl.dart. First, add the async keyword in the method. You will create the getCastCrew method from the data source, which we will create in a moment. Next, as we have done for other methods to maintain a level of abstraction, use the model instead of entity. Now in the data source, we are at the final part of making the API call. In the movie remote data source.dart, add the abstract method and the implementation. Add declaration in the abstract class movie remote data source. Implement the method in movie remote data source IMPL and add async. To fetch the movie details, you have to append movie/$ID/credits to the base URL. Use from.json of cast_crew result model to create model from JSON and get the cast only from it. Finally, return the cast_crew result model. Now let's talk about business logic. In this case, we can create a block even before we have our UI, because block only depends on making API calls and we have use case already defined. Let's create a block then. Create a block with name cast. Add a new event in the cast event.dart file. Here, declare loadCastEvent class extending the cast event. Declare a final field movie ID and override the props method. Now, in castState.dart, add some states. Cast error is the state for handling errors when returned from API or network. Cast loaded will be emitted when the movie detail API has responded with success, list cast entity object, or as you will store the list of cast, declare the final field and add it in props as well. Now handle the event and dispatch the state in the castBlock.dart. As you need to make API call using use case, declare the final field of getCast. Allow it to be passed in constructor also. We will declare all dependency things in getIt.dart in a while. Handle the event in mapEvent2state. When you have event as load event, make the API call and store the response in the either object. Use the fold operator to yield cast error or cast loaded state with the list of cast. Now come to the dependency injection. In movie details screen, we will first fetch movie details and then load the cast list and videos list. So to that, in the movie detail block, we'll have to fire load cast event for cast block. To get the instance of cast block in movie detail block, we will declare cast block as a dependency for movie detail block. Declare the final field for cast block and make it as a required field. We have declared a new use case and a block. Let's put them in getit.dart and update the existing definition of movie detail block. Add cast block dependency in movie detail block. Now add below all blocks and below all blocks declare dependency for cast block. Just like others, below all the use cases declare one more use case, that is getCast. Now come to the UI part. In the movie detail screen, below the overview, we will show cast, heading, and horizontal list of cast. Let's first add the cast heading. In movie detail screen, below overview, add a text widget wrapped with padding. Add padding from left and right. Use the text widget to show the cast text. We haven't declared the text for both languages yet. Apply the headline 6 text style. Now open the translation constants and add the cast constant. Also open en.json and es.json and add the respective cast text. Run the app and see the cast as the title. We had declared the cast as cast in en.json, so use t context to use the translation. Now we see the translated string. There is very less spacing between the overview and the cast title. So let's add some padding. If we give top and bottom padding to the overview only, we can have a spacing for cast title as well. Now add the vertical padding for the overview widget. Now when you reload the app, there is sufficient space between overview and the title. Now come to the cast list. Let's add the cast in the horizontal list view. First, we will introduce cast block in the screen, then use multi-block provider as now we have two blocks. Take the instance of cast block from movie detail block because we want to keep the instance of cast block linked to the movie detail block, as we will call cast list when movie details are fetched. If movie detail itself is not fetched, we won't give the call for cast API. Now close the block in the dispose method. Now the screen will be increased in the length, so add a single child scroll view for the column in movie detail screen. Let's talk about cast widget. Now below the cast heading, add a cast widget that we will create now under journeys/movie_detail folder. This will be a stateless widget. Use block builder and handle the cast loaded and rest all the states. Before we move with the cast widget, let's dispatch event to give us the cast list. In movie detail block, dispatch the load cast event after the movie details are fetched and yielded. This will fetch the cast list for the movie and yield cast loaded that we are listening in the cast widget. Now add the list view in the cast widget. When we are working on a vertical layout and using a widget whose height is not bounded, we should use a fixed height for this. Luckily, we have used screen util that can scale according to the screen height. I don't recommend giving height to each and every widget, but this is the rare case. Give shrink wrap and give horizontal direction for the list view. Provide the item count to the list view and give item builder. Fetch the cast for a specific index. Add the image now in the card widget. Before that, update the import statement in the movie details screen. Here, use container with the width and height. As we need some elevation, so use card here. Add some rounded corners to the card. We'll have image on top followed by name of the cast and the character. Use cached network image with image URL of poster path. Give as much space available to the image by using expanded widget. Now when we will introduce the bottom two widgets, the image will move up and then we will need to give top rounded corners to the image. Now add the name and the character as well to the cast widget below the expanded widget. Add the name with Vulkan body text 2 and max lines as 1. Give fade overflow so that when the text is too long, it is faded from right. Add the Vulkan body text 2 in theme text.dart file as well. Now give some padding from left and right. Add the character now and use ellipsis this time for the character. Give it caption style. After doing with the cast, the last thing will be videos. We will show a button Watch Trailers if there are any trailers for that movie. On tap of that button, we will navigate to the next screen, showing first video that can be watched and all videos in a list. When you tap on another video, it automatically starts the other video. If there are not trailers for that movie, we won't show the Watch Trailers button. Similar to what we did for cast, we will do for trailers also. These are the basic steps. Domain layer, create request and response models, method in abstract repository, and add the use case. Now to the data layer, create the model, do the repository implementation, and add the data source method. In the presentation layer, create a new block and call the use case. Not repeating the steps in this video, you can always refer to the GitHub repository. One thing that you must know about the response of the video API is that the TMDB uses YouTube videos, so we will get key as the YouTube video ID and we will use that. After you are done with the 4 steps, we will work on the button visibility. We will add a button below the cast list if there is a list of videos in the response. For that, we will use block in the movie detail screen. First, add the video block in the movie detail block. Then make it as a required parameter. And at last, dispatch the load videos event when you have yielded the movie detail loaded. Now declare the block in movie detail screen. Initialize the underscore videos block in init state. In dispose method, close the videos block. Add the block in the multi-provider with the other blocks. Now come to the videos screen. Now that we have button for videos, on tap of this button, we will navigate to videos screen. We will use YouTube plugin for playing YouTube videos. Now create a new folder watch underscore video where we will put a screen file and arguments file in this folder. Arguments will act as a companion for the screen. The screen depends on these arguments. Create a stateful widget this time, as we will have a controller for YouTube videos. We will need initState and dispose method to create and dispose the controller. Now declare the final field of arguments that will be passed to the screen. Make this as required because without the arguments, this screen is impossible to build. Now let's add the controller as well to the screen. Store the videos in the local variable. Define YouTube Player controller with initial video as the first video in the list. So, set autoplay and mute options as true for obvious reasons. Dispose the controller in dispose method. Now open the watch video screen when we tap on the watch trailers video. Pass in the watch video arguments object in the watch video screen. You will see a white screen when you tap on the watch trailers button. So now we will use a scaffold instead of container in the build method of watch video screen. Use a scaffold and give the app bar property to it with the same text as that of the button. In the body, you can use YouTube Player Builder because this gives us capabilities to rotate the screen when you want to see video in the landscape mode. In the player, you can provide properties like controller, aspect ratio, colors of progress bar, and many more that you can explore as per the requirement. The builder will take in the player itself and will play the video assigned. We are putting the player in column to have list of all videos as a list below the playing video. Now stop the application and rerun the app and you will see that the first video is auto playing. Play with it. Next we will populate all the videos. Below the player, use expanded widget to put all the videos. Then, as a child of expanded, use single child scroll view because the list of videos can be long. Use for loop to iterate through all the videos. Use 0 as the initial index because when you are playing second video and want to play the first video again, you will need that video in the list. Now use gesture detector so that we can play the video by using controller. We will get the thumbnail from the YouTube Player plugin itself, so use cached network image to show the image. At last, show the title of the video in the remaining space. Now run the app for the final time and switch between various videos. By this, we have come to an end for this video. In the next video, we will work on the search feature. I hope you learned something or other in this video. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.